Welcome back to Rubbin My Special Edition in collaboration with Enough is Enough. And it's a really heated debate.
I'm loving it.
And we'll end with this. So we're going to talk about education.
Okay, good.
Before you both came on, the representative of the PDP spoke about a number of things that he attributed as successes to this present administration, one of which is the establishment of 12 universities. Now, my question to you is, to what end?
Well, you see, education is the bedrock of any economic system. That's what is said. Establishing 12 universities, to what end is because people were finding it difficult. Nigeria is a huge country. We can't stay in the confines of our comfort zone and assume that everybody has the kind of opportunities that we do have. So if you go to a place like Gombe, and you have very few people being able to get into the schools, and the federal government decides to put down a school there that makes it easier for people to acquire education, I think that is laudable. To talk about. Now, again, education is not just about going to teach people, you know, A, B, C, D. The president particularly realized that we need to have something called a dual educational system, because the president came in and found out there's a gap in our education system where the young people are not oriented, are not taught to realize that they can come out and be what they want to be, do something for themselves. So everybody coming out and expecting that there is employment somewhere, that is what built up to what we are discussing today, unemployment. Now, entrepreneurship studies and skills acquisition have been introduced into universities now. Most federal government universities have started implementing that policy of the federal government, and I think that is something that anybody else should look up to, because once you have that, that basic entrepreneurship education, you will come out and you'll be able to do something. Even if you're working for somebody, if you're employed, you have more value to add to that employment. So we have started, implementing that. Vocational skills, ND, the National Directorate of Employment, have been training people in vocational skills. ITF have been training people to match up skills gap with available opportunities in the market, because there's not a challenge that there are available opportunities, but there are lack of skills to match those opportunities, which ITF has stepped in to handle. SMIDAN has been developing, SMIDAN, which is a small and medium enterprise development agency of Nigeria, has been doing a lot in training entrepreneurs to be able to start something for themselves. So in education, I think we're doing very well.
Okay,
okay, thank you very much. First things, I think we haven't funded the existing universities well, and we're talking of establishing new ones. Also, we've spoken about new universities. In many of the schools you're talking about, not one block has been laid. Even the foundation has not been done. There's just a signboard. There was a picture that went viral on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, just a signboard. Not one block has been laid, yet they're campaigning with these things. Also, you're talking about education and how education means so much to the PDP, how you've done very well. But our polytechnics were on strike for 11 months. What do you tell those students? Is it because you were trying to secure their education? Were you trying to give them qualitative education? Was that why you shut their schools? Are you going to say, oh, we care so much about you and we budget so much for education, but we have to shut your schools because we love you so much? How do you explain that to them? Universities were under lock and key for about 6 months also. You have basically thrown a clog in the wheel of the students' progress. I schooled in Nigeria. I know the pain of going on strike. Having your friends graduate, and you're still in school and you're telling them, oh, it's strike today, it's strike tomorrow. We're tired of that. Don't tell us for how long it has been on. Tell us that you have solved it. Leadership demands that you take responsibility and you solve problems. You don't tell us about new universities when you have not funded the existing ones. What about technical colleges, vocational training? What have you done about that? You have been at the helm of affairs for so long. My time. You've been at the helm of affairs for so long, and we're still having these issues. You cannot seriously address a group of students. I went to UNAB, University of Agriculture, Abekita. Walk into UNAB and tell them this thing you've just said, that you've done a lot with respect to education, and see if the students will agree with you. I feel your pain. I'm in touch with them. You understand? It's something they complain about. During the Polytechnic strike, students were practically crying because they wanted to go back to school. This has to end. We need to end it. We need to do something about it. We need to take decisive action on remodeling and reinventing our educational system.
All right. Thank you very much, Aderinsola. Special needs.
Okay. Because I wanted to find out from her, does she really know what led to the university or the polytechnic lecturers striking? It was because they had an agreement signed with them 10 years ago, which was not fulfilled. And when they came, at any time, there's no administration that has not had issues, labor issues, whether with university lecturers or polytechnic lecturers. But this administration has been able to nip that in the bud. That's why you see that students have been able to go back to school. That agreement that was reached with them has been, they have fulfilled it to an extent. So they're able to go back to school and do their work. So it's a problem that was inherited and has been dealt with. So I really don't understand if she understands the issues as much as we do.
I know education, we'll have to stop there with education, but before we go now, you're both going to get 2 minutes.
Okay.
To give a closing remark, 2 minutes.
Sure. To
give us your closing remarks on anything you feel passionate about to sell your party.
I'm going
go
first. First things first, I would tell you, if you're a young Nigerian and you're watching this, if you're a Nigerian and you're watching this, and you live in this country, and you go through the pains that we suffer every day, you return home after a long day from work, there's no power. You want to buy fuel, there's scarcity, you're buying it at 150, 115, 105 a liter. They talk about reduction in the price of petrol. When you get to the filling station, you don't have enough to buy fuel for your car, not to talk of your generator. For the past 6 years, for the past 16 years, since time immemorial, since my generation, every Nigerian has been a government unto himself. We don't have power, we buy generators. We don't have water, we sink boreholes. The roads are bad, we call our neighbors, we contribute money, we fix them ourselves. It is a duty of a government to take responsibility. Nigerians, we need to disabuse our minds. The fact that something is not working does not mean that it is not supposed to work. The fact that we have been abused mentally, physically, psychologically by the PDP does not mean that this is how things should be. When you go outside of the country, you see that systems work. We can have that in Nigeria too. There is nothing wrong with us. It is not impossible. Impossible should not be a word in your dictionary. We need to come together, use our PVC, our weapon of change, and get rid of our abusers. I am voting for Muhammadu Buhari because he is the candidate that can safeguard the future of my children. I don't want them to shout up NEPA like my friends did when we were growing up.
Thank you very much, Inshallah. Josephine Washima, please.
Well, you see, it's a closing remark, so I'm going to be speaking to Nigerians. Everywhere in the world, you only get development where there is continuity. When you don't come and begin to build, it's just when you come and begin to build something from the scratch, it takes you a longer time to build it. But we have built structures. I've been talking about structures because we have built structures, and it is easier for us to continue to build on those structures than for us to say we want to come back and let change happen. I don't know what kind of change that is, and I've heard a lot that needs to be done, but I've not heard how those things will be done. But in our case, we've talked about how we have done things and how we're going to do things better. President Goodluck Jonathan is a committed president. The PDP is a committed party. The PDP is not a sectional party. It's not a religious party. It's a party for Nigerians. President Goodluck Jonathan is a Nigerian who came out of nowhere without shoes and became a leader. Any one of us here can become a leader based on what you believe in, your focus, and what you're doing and what you want to become tomorrow. So I want Nigerians not to go out there and vote emotionally, but vote your conscience and use your PVCs.
Thank you.
Don't allow anybody to talk you into what they are going to do, but see what has been done.
Thank you very much, Josephine Washima. Thank you very much, Inshallah. I know you want to say something, but I promise you I won't let you say anything. It's a promise I'm going to make. Thanks for being here today. It's been very enlightening. I hope the viewers have watched. They have just a week to make up their minds, or less than a week actually. The election's on Saturday, so hopefully you've swayed some voters to your way. We'd like to thank all the other panelists who had here today.
Present and absent.
Present and absent. Mostly those present. Basira, thanks for coming from the PDP. You're very welcome. and of course, Yemi Adamoleko, who put all of this together. I'd like to thank you for watching and say thank you, of course, to Enough is Enough Nigeria, who are partners for this, and also all the other partners who helped bring this to life. Nigeria Info, which is where you come from. Thanks for joining us today. Of course, Gen Voices, the Global Shapers, and Gemstone. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you guys next week after the presidential elections. See you then.